Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally here. The final stretch, the final frontier for this week's Midweek War. Uh, we're here to talk about a little show called TNA Impact.
Oh, what a little show, getting smaller by the day.
Oh, boy. Yeah, let's get into this. I'm Eamon. Hi. Eamon Payton, at Eamon to please. Joining me for this journey is Matt Carlins.
Hey, everybody, it's me, your old pal in the mainstream media, and I'm back with the TNA big board. That's right. Science has given us the means by which to track professional wrestler movements across multiple companies, mate. Eamon, there's some pretty cool moves on this thing. I had to add all these GFW dudes, a.k.a. the WWE former the WWE Superstars alumni. The Superstars, the television show, by the way.
Yeah.
So we had to add PJ Black and Brian Myers and goddamn Trevor Lee and whatever Chris Masters is calling himself now,
Some
and
weird
Sanjay Dutt and Lady Top are on here now. I don't have In Jail, so I had to put Bram under Hit by Train with Hernandez. Which is kind of funny because we made this column for Mickie James and she's not in it anymore, but there are two people in it now. So anyway, that's about where we're at. We got a nice, healthy bunch of people who are out since we launched this thing a couple of months ago. A bunch of TNA guys just disappeared. But our master Sorgatron and I were talking about maybe, I hope I'm saying this right, a Venn diagram.
Yes.
Maybe better. Which for those of you like me who aren't totally familiar are the two giant circles, and they cross over in the middle. So like one circle will be TNA, one circle will be Global Force, and we'll have that crossover section where we're like, we don't know. That doesn't make sense. So maybe we'll reconfigure the big board. But for now, it's here for you, everybody, for you. I did this for you. I hope you appreciate it.
Oh, brother. Let's dive into this show. Matt, I'm gonna. Oh, actually, one word for this show. Matt Carlins, what do you have?
Hostile, as in I am beginning to feel hostile toward this television program. And it's a hostile takeover, but mostly I'm feeling hostile.
I think this is a word, if I'm not mistaken. Unmotivated. This is the most unmotivated show I've ever seen. Matt, go ahead.
This is a show that refuses to show its work.
Oh yeah. Matt, what is your good? I'm going to you because I literally cannot think of a good right now.
Well, I scratched and clawed, and I just kind of like went with the thing that stuck with me a day later, and that's Jeff Hardy becoming EC3's personal assistant.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, but it's a classic wrestling angle. And you know what? I think Jeff Hardy and EC3 are kind of the perfect guys to try this with. So I think it's an optimal setup. Whether they'll get everything out of it that they can, whether they'll take the time and put in the work to get everything out of it that they can, we'll see. But for now, I'll just hope that maybe Jeff Hardy will join EC3 in one of the fireside chats, but that might be hoping too much.
Yeah, that's too much. But now that I think about it, my only other good for this week is EC3. The match with Matt Hardy was good. I like that Jeff's his assistant now. The pre-match promo was really good. It's a cop out to say, but yeah, spoiler guys, EC3 is really good. He's good at what he does.
He ain't too bad. And you enjoyed the Choose Your Own Adventure
yes.
promo. Your adventure ends here. That's a pretty solid line.
It's really good. So that's my good for this week. Bad for this week.
Moving on.
Matt Carlins.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're talking about, like we said at the top of the podcast, and we're talking about TNA, the company that will not show its work. They're rushing through everything, Eamon, and we saw a perfect example of that where they just reunited the beautiful people out of freaking nowhere. Yep. Even though I swear, and my memory's a little foggy, I swear these three people hated each other.
Yep.
But
They absolutely did.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me then.
Even if they just had,
but you know what? But you know what? Here's the thing, okay? The idea of Dollhouse versus Beautiful People makes sense, but you've got to put in the work. You've got to build to it. You got to make it. You got to show your work. I don't know any other way to say it than that. But instead, they just fired away.
yeah, it's two stables representing tropes about women's wrestling that I absolutely despise, and it's everything that I don't want, and it's everything that every wrestling company who promotes women's wrestling is doing completely different and completely better. It's another sign of TNA just being so dated. We may have somebody here. Okay, so for those of us,
you know what? People don't just want to hear from men about how we don't like the beautiful people. You need to hear it from women. Here, sit down here, honey. Here's my wife.
My wife.
Put it in your butt here, dear heart. And you know, you don't watch Impact very often, but sometimes I trick you into watching it. So you got to watch it this weekend. You got to see the Dollhouse. What do you think about the Dollhouse, honey?
It is like a bad sideshow attraction at Universal Studios.
That's funny you should say that. They're at Universal Studios.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, absolutely. They are. When you saw them come out, the trio.
Yes.
You were like, what the? You were not familiar with them.
No, I was a little shocked. I was pretty much like, what the fuck is this shit? What are they?
What do you think about?
They're dolls. They're living dolls, apparently.
They look like blow-up dolls.
And apparently they're all
like blow-up dolls.
pretty decent wrestlers when it's all said and done, right? People have a high opinion of like Jade and Marty Bell, right?
I know Mia Yim and Marty Bell are very good. I don't know about Rebel, who's the former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. But
No. Then you had the Chinese chick.
Yeah, Jade. You can call her Jade.
I don't know her name.
No,
I'm
totally
fine. I'm actually totally fine with Jen referring to her as that, because that's basically what TNA is saying she is.
Okay.
By renaming her Jade. Like, come on.
She's a China doll.
Just tell everybody what you got here.
Well, you know, when there she was, I mean, you could tell that they're playing the routine in their heads, where she's got her head down, and she turns her head and looks at the person that's about to kick her in the head.
Yeah.
So we're talking like a failure creatively, a failure in execution.
There's a lot of plastic in that ring.
I need to do Jen a favor and send. There's a clip online of, because Mia Yim and Marty Bell of the Dollhouse are doing the Dollhouse gimmick on the Indies now, and it's so much better than what you get in TNA. Honestly, because they actually get to wrestle and be badass instead of just looking like idiots.
I think I'd like to see that.
Yes.
I'll have to show you a clip, but yeah, it is. Like I said, it's everything I hate about how mainstream wrestling portrays women, and it's just awful. It's so bad.
It's yuck.
It's yuck. I'm glad you came down and gave us a woman's perspective, so it doesn't just sound like two guys complaining about
it's horrible.
How cool is it that Taryn Terrell gets to rise above all of this and just kind of hide backstage? He's
she doesn't get to do anything.
Separated from it.
Yeah. It's. Ugh.
But yeah, also beyond even that, just the whole insulting the intelligence of being like, hey, Velvet Sky was feuding with these two people like months ago, like not like maybe like 2 months ago. Now they're in a stable together.
Yeah.
It's just so insulting.
Yeah, it's not good. It's all just rushed. Everything's being rushed. It's really, it's hard. And, you know, what can I say? It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to watch, Eamon. But I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to watch Impact, so everyone else doesn't have to, and we hope they.
I don't ever want to
enjoy.
watch it again.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to.
Good.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Eamon.
Thanks for coming
Thank you
by and
very
being a
much.
guest. And please, and everybody, if this is the first episode of the Midweek War that you're watching this week, and you want to see more of Jen's opinion on women in professional wrestling, you need to check out the Ring of Honor Midweek War podcast, where she chimes in on some of the folks in Ring of Honor. Very interesting. It's always good to have a women's perspective, Eamon, you see.
Oh, always nice.
Always good to have that.
So my bad for this week goes to this whole stuff that's going on with TNA and Global Force Wrestling. And I think the biggest showing of this was right before the Bobby Roode PJ Black match, where Bobby Roode cuts a promo, and it's supposed to be a big I'm a TNA guy. I stand by this company. These people stand by this company. Listen to the crowd during it. They don't care. They're just like, yay.
Yeah, it was.
Some of them are booing.
Was it piped in, or was there real cheers during that?
Roode. Some of them were straight up booing Bobby Roode when he's like, "We stand by TNA. This is our company.
Yeah.
This is the fans' company." And they're like, "No, who cares?"
Well, I mean, poor Bobby Roode. What's he supposed to do? The poor guy. He's given a decade of his career to that company. Oh, it's so sad. It makes me so
really
sad. People like Bobby Roode, they take me from just annoyed at TNA to angry at TNA. I get angry when I think about Bobby Roode and TNA and being like, what more could we do with you? Just get you out of here, But
also, listen, I would say pay close attention also to Dixie Carter's promo, including the one that's in the back. I feel like this was literally a thing where Dixie was like, everyone's trying to get me and everyone's trying to end this company. So the Global Force invading is supposed to be a metaphor on how people were trying to end the company. Because she was very much when she was backstage with the guys being like, I will repay you because you guys are the ones that did stand by me and didn't leave the company, because people actually did leave the company. It's very much it's almost like Dixie thinks this is a big this is her story.
But she thinks it's all about her. She thinks it's all about her.
And it's so stupid. It is really terrible. And there's there's interesting stuff. I love I don't love it, but I think there's an interesting aspect of Jeff Jarrett being I want my company back. I love this company, and I got casted out by it. That's a cool story, but going back to what you said, it needs to be developed.
Yeah.
And it's not being
most
developed.
definitely. Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
So what is your change for this week?
Oh, very simple. Very simple. Edit out Bram. I know he got arrested on a Tuesday, and your show aired on a Wednesday. Trust me, that's enough time. If you can edit out Hernandez, you can edit out Bram.
Well, Kenny King got edited out for a month. You expect him to get edited out again?
You know what? Maybe it's Kenny King's fault. I don't know what to tell you at this point. But dude got arrested. Don't put him on your TV anymore. Don't put him on your TV. Delete him.
Yeah, well, we talked about
an industry leader would do.
Yeah. My change would also be that match. Also, Kenny King suddenly being I don't want to break the rules anymore. I want to be a good guy for some reason. Did you don't notice the fact that none of my teammates are here anymore?
I know. Oh, I was just kidding whenever I was beating you guys up with all my friends, but now that I'm alone, hey, why don't you cheer for me? Seems a little disingenuous.
Also, that happens, and Kenny King loses.
Yeah, that was bad.
This fresh start for Kenny King, and he loses to Bram, who I don't know if it's just because I haven't been paying attention to Bram's matches, but oh my god, the way they portray him. I had to write these down because it's so absurd. The fact that his finisher is called the brighter side of suffering.
That's right.
And it's just a lifting DDT. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I also didn't know that he was being referred to as the human hate machine.
It's true.
What are they smoking?
This is a bad dude, man.
Human
The
hate
problem is, like,
machine.
plays a little bit too close to reality for me,
But
to be honest with you.
but it's not even that intimidating. I'm the human hate machine. Be afraid of me.
I will say this, that trying to put aside the human being portraying Bram, the character Bram has actually been one of the few things that TNA has actually shown some patience with and actually invested some time in developing to the point where he's actually a viable upper card kind of guy. I mean, you could he was ready to jump up into a world title picture if you needed him to do that. You don't need him to, because you don't need Bram versus EC3 right now. That's not necessary. But you get where I'm going at, where this is somebody that they actually took some care and took some time with, and look what happened. And look what they got for their troubles, Eamon.
I think that Bram, and they even pointed it out on commentary, because Kenny King like issued an open challenge and he brought back Open Fight Night, and then like Bram comes out and Josh Matthews is like, it wasn't too long ago that Bram was issuing open challenges to the TNA roster. It's like, yeah, because that's the sign of you don't have anything for these people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's they're the most filler wrestlers, and it's really terrible. And from the way I've heard that things go, we're gonna see a little bit. We're gonna have to see a little bit more Bram going forward.
All I heard, and I try to remain very much spoiler free when I'm watching my TNA, because it's just more fun to be surprised. And I heard that Bram is like an integral part of things to come.
Oh yeah, and he is.
That might be part of the reason that he can't be edited out. But for me, I'm like, screw it, he gone. I mean, what can you do?
There's a big censor bar comes on the screen every time he comes out.
Just put a blue dot over him. Just bleep Josh Matthews every time he says his name. Who is this guy?
Oh my God.
My goodness. What else? There's a couple other matches.
Other things happened, I think.
Well, we've got new tag team champions.
We do. Okay.
Brian Myers and
you know what? Let's talk about that.
Damn Trevor Lee.
Brian Myers and Trevor Lee, great wrestlers. You know, whatever. Earl Hebner. The best part of the whole, like, he takes the punch terribly from Jeff Jarrett. He just like is like it misses him by a mile, and then he like just falls over. And then Josh Matthews is like, how despicable, you know, Jeff Jarrett is. Earl Hebner's a grandfather. He's a senior citizen. He literally, that's word for word what he calls him. He calls Earl Hebner a senior citizen. He's the lead referee.
He's the senior referee. Duh, he's the senior.
You're just saying that he's old and fragile, but he's refereeing all your important matches.
It's true.
What? Oh my God, it was awful.
Bobby Lashley defeated guy who used to be Chris Masters.
Yeah. Don't remember a lot about
That's
the match.
all I got of that one. Is this match? Go on.
Oh no! The only thing I was going to say, the other thing about this Global Force thing was just showing how important and dire this is to TNA, and this could change the future of this organization. And they cut to Pope and Josh Matthews, and they're very like solemn, being like, you know, they've won our tag team titles, they've got control. You know, Jeff Jarrett's got shares of this company. This is a dangerous predicament. I don't know what the future is going to hold for us, but the Knockouts calendar's out. Look at these knockouts. Aren't you excited, Pope?
Pope's excited, Daddy.
Oh my God.
So this winner take all match that they decided to set up, is this happening next week? I got the impression this is happening next.
This is happening 2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 week build. All right, good deal.
No, because you got to get the contract signing, and then you got to do the match.
That's good. I love a good contract signing. With 10 people are gonna sign a contract.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 25-minute Broadway contract signing. They
I
get
love it.
halfway through and it runs out of ink. They're like, shit, let's cut to commercial. Fucking get a new pen out.
I don't know how this is going to end. I know it's September. We've been talking about this for a while. Wake me up when September ends.
Also,
well, we're almost there.
Also, I'm scared, Matt, because Bound for Glory is in October, right?
I'll take your word for it.
Like that's the thing. Like they're having a pay-per-view in October, but they're ending this like this is the big blow off is happening in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, they're doing big matches on free TV, and they're giving you buck ass nothing on pay-per-view.
What are they gonna do?
I don't know. But your hair has gone crazy now.
Ah!
Eamon, listen, kid. I've been around watching for about a minute longer than you have, and I gotta tell you something, kid. Pro wrestling sometimes it just doesn't go right. What can I say?
No.
I don't know what to tell you.
Sometimes it doesn't go right from the onset.
What's scarier than the thought that somehow, some way, TNA may emerge from this wilderness and survive this month and go on to exist for another years or years more? Or could this really be the end? That's the drama right now. All the drama's behind the scenes. It's just watching the product. You're like, you're wondering like what they're in such a hurry to get to. Why are they in such a hurry?
There's got to be something. I don't know.
Like I said, I don't read any spoilers. Eamon, I don't think you're reading anything anymore. So if you're yelling at your screen right now, you're all mad because I don't know what's about to come. I'm sorry. I like to be surprised. What can I say?
The big blow off is happening before Global Force Wrestling has an actual TV show.
They taped a pilot, Eamon.
But they don't have a network.
Well, they've got to sign it. I read on one of the dirt sheets that Double J may be flying over to the UK to sign a TV deal, an international broadcasting
deal. The UK will get to see it.
The UK loves TNA. They'll love Global Force too. It's a damn mess. It's hard to watch sometimes. It's hard to watch because as much as we laugh and we make jokes, there are human beings who are employed, who are actually getting paid. I believe it. People are receiving paychecks from this company, Eamon. And if this company goes out of business, when it goes out of business, those people will not get paid anymore. They will have to look for new jobs. And that sucks because there are talented people. But this entire situation on Impact Wrestling is a mess.
I don't even know what to say. This was a really terrible episode of Impact. Our ranking dead last, bottom last.
Number 4.
Behind
the
Ghost of Lucha
episode number 3 of Lucha Underground, which I rewatched earlier this week because I missed Lucha Underground so much. I am rewatching original episodes. That's the dark place I'm in right now.
That's fair. Yeah, this Impact was bad this week, but I hope you enjoyed us talking about it.
I enjoyed talking about it with you. I like saving it for last because you can kind of like just let loose. You don't have to worry about conserving any energy. You can just kind of release all that anger and the rage and get it all out of your system.
Oh, it's all out. It is all out and all over the place. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to all of this week's Midweek War for this week. You can find us on Twitter at Mayhem Show and check us out every Tuesday night at live.sorgatronmedia.com for the Wrestling Mayhem Show, where we talk all things professional wrestling, and on the Indie Mayhem Show, where we talk the indies and have a couple guests come on the show and do some fun stuff there. You can follow me on Twitter at Eamon Payton, or Eamon Payton at Eamon2, please, on Twitter. You can also check out Matt Carlin's. Where at, Matt?
At Mainstream Matt with 1 T.
1 T.
That's all.
1 T and Matt.
Get it right. Get it? It's a little joke.
Because there's a T in Mainstream, but not so 2 T's total. 1 T in Matt. Yes.
Now you've confused them.
Yes. Sorry.
No new followers this week. That's okay.
Nope. But yeah, that's been the Midweek War for this week. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for bearing with us during this climb. We'll see you guys next week.